All right, we're recording again. So last video I was doing the 7 virtues of Bushido. I explained a bit about Bushido and I went into like samurai rituals and shit like this. And poetry even. Haikus. But so I did the first 3, which are Gi, integrity, Rei, which is respect, and Yu, which is heroic courage. And now we're doing Meyo, which is honor. If you guys are new to the channel, what's up? Meyo, honor. Warriors have only one judge of honor and character, and that is themselves. Really, because like again, like you are always going to reflect yourself. You're always going to show the world and express who you truly are. You can try to hide it, you can be very smart, but still, we always truly express ourselves or express our true selves, right? And I made a couple of videos about that as well. So decisions they make and how these decisions are carried out is a reflection of whom they truly are. Look at that. I didn't read the second part until just now, but that's very close to what I said. So, uh, uh, you cannot hide from yourself. That's something I very much really, really, and let me tell you this, for example, as an experience I have, or I consistently kind of like have. It's a beautiful interaction. Recently, I realized that telling stories, I used to embellish a lot. And I started realizing when there are stories that just come out because they come out, and there are stories that come out simply uh, because I wanted to say them. Because it's a story that kind of made me look good or feel good, or like it feeds into a certain egotistical persona type thingy. And I was like, sure, why the fuck not, Mike? And I can share stories. They're real, but there's always like the extra salt and pepper and like the things that people add. Some of these salts and peppers are completely wrong, even though they make a good story or they tell a good story. They're wrong. And so a big part of me started kind of looking at myself and holding myself accountable. And it's always like I'd be saying something, but that's not what happened, and I go like, that's how it happened. Oh, okay, this is a bit more embarrassing, right? Like, and there are always ways that we kind of like describe things that that happened to us. It's an egotistical thing. Our ego, our narcissistic side kind of like vibes on it when you're telling a good story and people are like, well, yeah, Homenyuki, man, or laugh or like feel upset or something. I don't know. So there's all that kind of stuff. So you cannot hide from yourself, man. You can deny that you're calling yourself out, or it could be very distant where it's kind of like bleak, but you cannot hide from it. And so, like, engaging with it definitely is a much better way for you to kind of like look at yourself with the full, like, honorable way, I guess, or like the full respect. And funny enough, like, right, that also adds to your integrity. So these 7 virtues of Bushido are kind of like exploring different parts of the ego, right? Different ways we kind of like call, I don't know, we engage with the world, the different ways we engage with the world. I'll stick to ways for now until I change it. The 5th one is Jin, Jin, compassion. Again, pardon my Japanese. Compassion. Through intense training and hard work, the true warrior becomes quick and strong, naturally. And don't think about it from a battle's perspective as a warrior. Also think about it like, the professionals. Everything they do regarding their career could be either like them fighting or like as in like warriors within battles, not really fighting, or gaining skills as in practice, right? Because like the days where you're actually like studying, reading something about work, that's you practicing. And the days where you're actually working, and let's face it, a lot of people don't do that. And a lot of people kind of like stay in their place or just kind of like don't really understand why things are not moving according to the plan. And there are things you have to notice. So here he's saying, like, no, you do become strong. They are not as most people. They develop a power that must be used for good. So that basically, like, again, like skills, potential, careers, like growth, we're developing stuff. So here, basically, they're saying, no, we should use them for good. They have compassion, they help their fellow man at every opportunity. So our strength, and again, like it's not this strength, it's just like being a dentist, for example, doesn't mean you're strong because you're a dentist. No, but like to actually be on the road to be a respected dentist, a dentist that basically is successful in his own field and all that shit. You actually had to go through a road to be able to like get there, maintain it, and that's basically your strength. And that requires compassion and understanding for people, especially people that are like going through things, and empathy and like understanding where people could come from. They help their fellow man at every opportunity. It becomes our duty because we realize something that others probably didn't, or we just realize something that could be useful for others that did, or whatever. If an opportunity does not arise, they go out of their way to find one. Compassion. If an opportunity for compassion does not arise, they go out of their way to find one. Motherfuckers, I love this shit. Fifth one. What do we have right now? We have integrity, respect, heroic courage, honor, and compassion. Remember, heroic courage, heroic, heroic, heroic. Heroic courage is not blind, it is intelligent and strong. Sixth one, Makoto, honesty and sincerity. When warriors say that they will perform an action, it's as good as done. It's basically sincerity, right? Nothing will stop them from completing what they say they will do. Again, he's talking about somebody who's honest and sincere, because like your word is your bond, and it should be, or you will lose respect for yourself, or actually, yeah, it's the perfect way to say it. And we probably don't notice it, but like eventually, like everything around us kind of starts like reflecting on that part of you. Because if you're not taking yourself seriously, you won't be taking other things seriously, right? And sometimes if you're treating yourself horribly, you start kind of like finding a way to damage yourself through the outside. Nothing will stop them from completing what they say they will do. They do not have to give their word. They do not have to promise. Remember, we do that a lot, right? And imagine it. I want you to imagine a scenario where somebody goes like, "Hey, man, let's do this," or "This is happening," and you go like, "Okay, I'll go," and then basically you have to promise in order for them to believe you. What does that say, right? And that's basically giving your word. Like, I give you my word, I'm gonna go. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. The minute you speak, that's your word. Either speak or don't speak. Speaking and doing are the same action. Oh, sweet. Here we go. There's always a note at the bottom. Speaking and doing are the same action. It's fucking beautiful, man. Shu is number 7. Duty and loyalty. Warriors are responsible for everything that they have done and everything that they have said. And all of the consequences that follow, they are immensely loyal, all of those in their core. So they're responsible for everything that they have done and everything they have said. This is beautiful. Duty and loyalty. Uh, it really places you in a much easier position because, again, like growing from yourself is an extension from one point that you already know to something else. So taking responsibility for an action that happened, any action that happened with you, you take responsibility for it. By doing that, you're limiting all the different approaches you could have taken. So it becomes very much easier simply because like there's one way to do it through this myself. And you once you figure that route, right? Because but like when you take responsibility, you realize that how would you take responsibility for it not to happen again, for it to be handled, for you to repent towards it? There are many ways, like, right? If it's a mistake worthy of repenting for, or if it's a mistake that you kind of like have to up your skills for, or if it's a mistake that you basically have to like apologize to somebody for, doesn't fucking matter, right? But taking responsibility for everything that they have done and everything that they have said. It doesn't matter if you say something, you have to take responsibility for it. As in, like, yes, you said it and consequences of it, and. This really just boils down to like, you have to understand what to say, when to say it, and why you're saying it, or why it should be said, right? Because really, like, all the world kind of like says the same thing, but it's the difference in cultures that expresses them differently. And that's the beauty with how we relate. They are immensely loyal to all of those in their care. They take responsibility. If I am responsible to you, I'm done. I'm responsible for you. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna be responsible for you, not just so you don't die, to make sure you eat well, you're taking care of yourself, whatever, like all kinds of care. So like, I'd imagine, like, for example, a team leader, like everyone, let's just not say look up to them, but respects his opinion a bit more, and they're impressionable by it, right? Because you're the leader, so I'm gonna listen to you and want, like, have to do stuff you tell me. So it's his duty to make sure, like, they're actually in a good place. That's what the leader does. They're your responsibility. And he ends it with a note here: to everyone that they are responsible for, they remain fiercely true. Right? It's a commitment. And what kind of person makes a commitment, and what kind of person are you to make that commitment, and what kind of person are you to handle it, right? And what kind of person are you to like be in charge of it? It really just goes around with how well you allow yourself to be. Not good, not better, just well. Aware of the things that you're doing, you're interacting with, just the engagement between you and your expression toward in this world. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The seven virtues of Bushido. I actually dove very much deeper into them today. Thank you very much. And eventually, I will know them by heart, and I'll be able to like reflect on them a lot faster. So I'll use situations basically. It's literally been a process. They didn't exist until like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And since then, I always kind of go back to them every once in a while. But to know them by heart, that means they're always with you, right? But anyways, this video was longer than expected, but it's a video. Woohoo! Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.